Another tough day at work today. Stephen Kirk, think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still where we want to go. It's Mike and the Minifans. 'Cause nobody had any better plans. You want to be with DC and RA Minahan. The host can't see, it's Mike and the Minifans.
Wow. Hey, how are you? Welcome to Mike and the Minifans, the longest hour in recorded broadcast history. I'm here with a great panel, but yet again, we lost someone, and we'll play a little. We got to do an Ave Maria to Michael Montante. He decided to bail today because he was getting trolled online by the Montante 40K account. So pray for Michael Montante. Hopefully he recovers. So how are you, boys? Jeff, how are you? Thank you for coming. You're the star guest today, Minifan of the Year.
Thank you. And now I've been to a live show. I was supposed to be on last week, but I double booked. So I guess I can't make fully fun of Montante, but I was going to give him Dante the Don's number and everything at the end of it.
No.
I can't do it anymore.
Oh no,
not here. It's a shame.
Well,
oh no, Gus had nothing to do, so he stepped in last minute. Thank you, Gus.
Happy to be here. It's always a good.
He's busier than me now.
I know.
He's a busy guy, and once he gets that $500 super chat, he's gonna be he's gonna be flowing. And we're joined by some would say the Benedict Arnold of both networks, McFussDaddy. He left both networks. He's joined both networks. McFuss, how are you?
good. Check out 3 Up, 3 Down on the Minifan Network every Monday night.
Great show. The Sneakers episode was really good. So, Michigan.
Sneaks gave us approval, so we weren't gay for that episode. So thanks, Sneaks.
Oh, there we go. Beauty. Michigan man said Montante's a coward. So here we go. But we have a lot to discuss. I think we got to start with Mutt, though. I don't know where you guys want to start, but Mutt, another interesting week for Mutt. He starts off the week. He costs people hundreds to thousands of dollars on his derby picks. He says that his dream job is to be a teacher and coach like the minor league baseball, like not the varsity league baseball. But then the lollipop sales opportunity came up, and I'm very intrigued by this. And I know Gus, I was saying like a lollipop salesman seems like the best job in the world. Like no stress.
Count
You're
me
selling
in.
lollipops.
If Gilroy's watching right now and Mutt still doesn't want it, I'm in. Like count me in. I'll start whatever you need tomorrow. I'll get on that plane, go to Indianapolis. Like let's go.
You think you'd be a good lollipop salesman, Gus?
Of course. I'm a friendly guy. Like with my personality, I think I know a good tasting lollipop when I taste one. Like the best thing to have when under the influence. Like it's all winning. So yeah, of course.
It seems like a great gig, like lollipop salesman traveling the country, slinging lollipops. Like Jeff, you're a Mutt guy, you know. Me, you, and Fuss are great friends of Mutt. But what do you think? Like, what do you think he should? Because I feel like he could still do the Mutt stack and everything with having this job. It's a perfect like side gig. I don't know. What do you think, Jeff?
I mean, as a Mutt Stack subscriber and as a giant Mutt guy, I would never say a bad word about Mutt. Not that anyone here would. I could see him being a lollipop slinger. I got to be honest with you though, and now I'm looking at the website. So first off, when I was listening today, and I heard lollipops a couple times, and then I realized I was like, what am I listening to? Hold on a second. So I rewound to rehear what was going on. Because I was like, is this did I lose the plot? Is there a bit I missed about lollipop salesmen? So I went through that. I'm on the website right now, and there's original gourmet lollipops. There is a magician's hat on the front page. It's like they're calling out to Coleman's brother here. That's significantly more of an appropriate hire. I mean, I like Mutt. I would love for him to have the job, but they're screaming for a magician to throw these lollipops around the country.
It was funny. Like I said that I had this as one of my topics, but Coleman is, I think he's trying to become Steve Robinson and doing these car crash moments. So Jeff, you might not know this guy DEC used to do a recap show, and he used to play Steve Robinson clips where he like tanked a segment to a car crash sound. And Coleman now is doing this. Like they're talking, it's like a funny conversation with this lollipop sales. And then Coleman goes, "Oh, my brother just texted me about lollipops." Like, what the fuck is he doing?
That was a tough stop the show dead moment. And he kind of did it again later. He was like, "Oh," he goes, "Mick is in." I'm like, well, Mick was in for basketball like 20 minutes ago. I don't like the double confirmation wasn't needed.
Yes, if someone like Confused Duck or something should bring in like this car crash, like the Coleman car crash segments, because there's a lot now. Fuss, what do you think about lollipop sales? Should Mutt do it? I feel it's like a dream job. I don't know, but what do you think?
I think it'd be a great job. Lollipop slinger sounds like some kind of slur from the 30s or something like that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Over under like 10 or over like 15 Minifans that have already DM'd Gilroy looking for that job. Like, man, I swear to God, I can do it. It's got to be a few.
Yeah, like Steve from Gloucester, 100% is in his DMs right now.
Have you guys seen these? You guys have seen these lollipops before, right?
Yeah, like
No.
Home Depot.
Yeah.
They're always like to check
super
out the Home Depot.
Yeah, even like when I was younger, I swear maybe I'm making this up in my head, but like I'd ask like these like the fancy ones, like it's like you ask your parents, like, "Are you fucking kidding me?
They're gourmet
lollipops, expensive."
How much do they go for?
Maybe not a lot. I could be misremembering it in my
I think
head.
they're like $1, like a dollar.
Yeah, I mean, think about the places you get lollipops: doctor's office, like the bank. They're free. So I mean, anything more than free is a lot for a.
And they put them on the lollipop.
But are
trees.
they like the big ones? I guess I can pull this.
Yeah,
up
like
too.
like the big round balls. Like they have that special case when you're at. Yeah.
You can get a box of them for $25.89 on Amazon. Looks, hey, Steve's already on it. He's already selling them. There you go.
Oh wow, hey, I could say Steve from Gloucester. But how about this? Like Kirk said,
I'm
like
fully
Mutt's
out
a
on
big-
Steve. By the way, sorry to interrupt. I'm like
Oh,
real
I think
world beyond. Once you start throwing the DMs around, I'm out. Like out. Don't DM me anymore. Don't talk to me. Out.
out 100% out. Well, he's kind of like, I think he DM'd me after saying like, "Oh, what Jeff said was fugazi and all this stuff too." So
I
he's
honestly.
saying,
Yes, I was kind of kidding. But like now I fully believe it. He's gone so far in defending it. Now I'm tripling. Now I really do believe he said it.
Speaking from experience
like
of lying,
cocktail flying around the bar. You guys, you were all at me. Fucking told you.
Yeah.
You guys were all there. It was crazy. I never seen anything like it.
well, so John from Scranton, the CEO, said him and Steve from Gloucester did a bit for bit like a secret handshake trade off on the last mic in the Minifans. So McFuss, when did he tell you? He told you on the Saturday or on the Friday?
it was at the bar. No, it was Saturday,
was it?
right before the VIP. Me and Bob Chillin were just chilling before we went over to VIP, and he came and talked to us. So tough for Steve.
Oh wow, we got a very big surprise guest. So
Flying
here we
around
go.
the
John. Oh, I think you have do you have the show on? John and Warren, everyone. Another guy who came in, Montante, not able to be here, but so we got John and Gus in person. Thank you, John.
Hey, how are you?
Hey. So we were talking about Mutt's lollipops. Do you think this is a dream job? And what do you think? The other thing I didn't mention is it is kind of a shitty move where someone's like, "Hey, I have this opportunity for you," and then you don't text them back for like 5 days or something. Like, I don't know. What you're a Mutt guy, a Mutt defender. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm part of the Mutt militia, but listen, it's you got to text back when there's an opportunity, even if it's like a fake text back. Like, yeah, let me consider it. I'll get back to you. Empty gesture if you have to. Gus, I assume you've reached out already.
oh, I said it right on the top of the show. I'm like, count me in. Like I would sell lollipops in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think,
that
though,
screams you.
Like Mutt, Mutt wouldn't take the job with Kirk. I mean, I'll give again. I'm a big Mutt defender, Mutt apologist. If he gets that text, and it's like if he got a text that said, "Hey, morning drive time, whatever helps," something in that whole space, I'm sure he replies. But Like if he gets that text and he sees, "You want to sell lollipops?" I could see him being like, "Fuck off." Like
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, but if you see 100K right there, buy it.
True.
I mean, and free travel and all the insurance. I mean, that's tough to turn down.
But the
I
travel's
mean,
gonna be the hardest
what
part with
sold
kids,
me
though.
was the car. What was it? The car stipend. Count me in.
Oh yeah, you could get your tires fixed, eh, Gus? That'd be
Right?
awesome. Also, if he's flying to Istanbul, he could get hair transplants, probably on the company dime. You know, Turkey's a big like So I don't know. Troll King Sneak says this is embarrassing. Shout out Sneaks. Great episode on 3 Up 3 Down.
Yeah, I thought Fuss put Sneaks in a body bag in that episode.
Oh yeah.
Thanks. Well, yeah, Sneaks just has like one speed, and it's this is boring, or this is fucking gay, and that's all he's got. So I mean, until he digs deeper
I will
in
say
the
that
bag-
picture of Mayo is the first I think I've seen of him since I saw him in person like a month and a half ago. Just disappeared into thin air. He hasn't been on the show. Nothing.
Mayo? You're talking about Andy Mayo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mayo's another one. I was going to ask him to come on, but I was like, do we really need Mayo here doing his bits? And speaking about bits, Justin bits. Like Justin has turned into the bit master a little bit. He had this he has these inside joke Star Wars bits with Mike where he's saying like, "Oh, Mike, do you want this Star Wars thing?" He has that Craig's podcast bit where he's like, "Do you want me to play Craig's podcast?" He's doing this snack bits where he's like, "I'm not going to coach. I'm going to bring snacks." And Kirk at the end of the episode today was like, "I'm sick of your fucking bits," because the producer said, "Oh, we won't be able to live stream this basketball." What do you think about Justin's bits? And Jeff, I wanted to ask you, was throwing you under the bus of being the rat to Kirk about this Chris Clemmer like live stream thing? What are your thoughts here on these allegations?
That was fair. I admitted it. He did say he was doing that to impress Kirk. It was just a slip. We were talking about the dozen tournament, and I was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, Justin is going to drive it," because I didn't want Justin to drive it because like that's what a ridiculous thing to do. Like just mail it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, "Oh, he's driving, doing the thing with Clemmer," and I was like, and as I said, I don't think I was supposed to tell you that. Whoops. Yeah, the bits thing was. I get worried because I love Justin, and I don't want to see Justin. Like, I guess, remember the whole thing, I guess. I don't know why I'm asking if you remember this, as you know this. Like, Justin wasn't going to take the job because, it would break him. So every time, like, there's a yell from Kirk, I kind of freeze up. I'm like, uh-oh. Don't break here. He handled it well. He took it well. I don't think they're going to live stream those games, but he took it well, though.
No, they're like, I don't think they have maybe Gus could figure it out, but they don't have the technical ability.
They need to get some interns other than the one that like sucked Coleman's cock at BC.
All you need is one of the
intern.
soundboards, one of the cameras. You got to get the computer that's in the studio.
What do you do about Wi-Fi? Like, can you get portable Wi-Fi or something?
I mean, you can go to Verizon and get a mobile piece. You just got to make sure you have enough of the bandwidth on it.
There you go. Gus, maybe for that $500 you go in and you do the lives. You do the live stream.
No, I gotta play. I gotta play in that.
But Justin's bits, they're kind of getting out of control. What do you think, John and Warren? You're a bit guy, What do you think about the bits?
I think that part of me likes that they make him happy. Like he was laughing his ass off at himself. I think that was today. But yeah,
about the Craig podcast.
I rewound. I thought I missed something.
So did I. Yeah. He's just like in the booth crying, laughing. So I think that he needs to take a hint, because when the bit doesn't work, if you keep hitting it again and again, you're going to piss off Kirk every time.
But the thing about these bits are he's doing them just for him and Mike. They're one person bits. Like, do you think he's doing this so maybe they'll be brought up on the show? Like, is it just like he just likes doing these funny bits?
I think he just likes doing them.
Another one, 49 nuggets, terrible bits.
Just eat the 50. Just eat the 50.
So, Fuss, what do you think about the bits?
I don't know. I think Justin's great at bits. So the VGS bit, or Craig's podcast bit, is very funny. Like, I would be laughing at that. So no, keep up the bits. Justin just likes clowning around a little bit, keeping it light. So just keep it up.
Jeff, what do you think? I'm giving you the hard-hitting questions here, but what do you think about Coleman allegedly saying that you don't watch the movies that you rank on your website?
Wow. Yeah, he did. He accused me of that, which, I mean, he brought up the kids' movies, which when I watch a kids' movie, I mean, when I rate a movie, I rate it as if I'm the person it's intended for, if I'm the audience if it's intended for. And I've watched a hair less over the last couple years. But I mean, I watch everything I watch. I don't like. I mean, also like I've been doing this. I did this long before Barstool, and I logged it for like my own Excel sheets, my computer, like for my health, basically, like not even for anybody. So I don't make it up, but that's I watch a movie differently if it's Godzilla versus Kong versus if I'm watching like fucking Oppenheimer. So yeah, I got called out. Coleman, but he is a movie master. He got to the bottom of it. Movies, there's gonna be movies coming out soon where the properties are more of the thing people watch. So hopefully he's definitely ahead of the curve on that one here.
So do you hold any animosity towards him? He had a bad week. I know I think you were a little bit out on Coleman a little bit, but what do you
I'll say something about Coleman. I'll defend him here. So I like regular world Coleman. KMS Coleman I don't like. He's a douchebag. I did say when I think I last called in 2 weeks ago, I said Coleman's big issue is he doesn't lean into being an asshole. And if he did, he'd probably be a good villain. Everyone would hate him more, but at this point, why not be the villain? The problem with him is it's his quips and his retorts. Like, be like, oh, I don't see your. It's like, oh, I don't see your job, like that. Like he's got to stop that.
Yeah,
like he's got his drops.
Like the douchey thing, yeah.
Right? And honestly, I gotta say, I don't agree with him about the cop thing this week, but he leaned into it. And I agree with you. I said he should, and he did, so I can't criticize him for that. Like I think if he's gonna do it, lean hard into it. Don't do like the little things where you look like you're kind of offended by shit. Just sit back and be like, whatever. I'm me. Yeah. I'm a piece of shit. Like I think that'd be the better role for him.
I give him credit for not apologizing.
Okay, yeah. So I think, like I said this earlier, like he's trying to. I think he's transforming into Steve Robinson, like be like a lesser, like a younger version of Steve Robinson. He's doing the drops. He has these car crash moments that end up being funny, and now, like you said, Jeff, he has to come out. Like Steve was an asshole, like, and he was a complete asshole. People either loved him or hated him. So I agree with Jeff. He has to stick with being an asshole. So, John, so you're happy he didn't fall back on his special needs take?
How lame would the apology have been?
Lame.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Look at this. We got $1.99 super chat. Give this to Gus Portnoy. Look at that. There we go. So Gus, keep track. $501.99.
That's $503.98 because we had another $1.99 the other night. We're up to 504.
Gus answered that so fast. That's so funny. But
I keep track.
What was I saying here? Oh, so John, special needs take. You're happy you didn't like backtrack a bit?
Yeah, I am. He stuck to his guns. I think a lot of people expected him to come in and kind of play the role like, oh, I watched the video again. I guess I made a mistake. He was like, no, fuck that. He's leaning into it. I still stand by my take that he got caught in this take and he didn't want to get out of it. And good. He shouldn't have got out of it.
I don't think he realized what the video was. I really don't.
1,000%.
I honestly, I think he pulled a me. He just didn't watch the whole thing through.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
he's gotta be an unapologetic asshole, like an unbothered asshole is my point. Like he can't be bothered by everything someone says. Like when a caller calls in and says something, he should just be like, let it roll off. Like whatever, fuck, easier said than done. But if he did that, I'll tell you what, I would respect it quite a bit.
Don't you think he was like that though until recently? I think he just started to kind of fight back a little bit. He used to let stuff kind of roll off his back.
I feel like with him, wherever he's in the watch is re-listen, he's like mimicking Steve Robinson. Like I already said it. So like I feel like but another thing actually, when he brought up the Danny and Bill Ricca, like, oh Danny, you called in a week ago or you called in on my re-listen and then like doesn't know where it is. Like that's a car crash moment, but
I don't know. It sounds like his family might be. It sounds like his family might be in his ear with Chris Coleman texting him as soon as the lollipop gig came up. So maybe like his parents are saying like, "Hey, you start looking for something else." Like, and so now he's feeling the pressure everywhere.
Yeah, 100K slinging lollipops. Like it seems like he's making less as a producer too. If that he got that text right away.
Yeah, his brother feeling that comfortable to send the text and be like, "Hey, you should do this." That's interesting to me.
Very,
his brother, if you saw him You saw him backstage, Gus. He couldn't have given less of a fuck about the Kirk Minahan show. Oh my god.
Yeah. Not one bit.
Well, also, I was saying Coleman, he was anti-special needs, but it's kind of like a self-hating Jew, you know, like in the same token, like that's how I saw it, you know. But the funny thing in this, he was like, "Oh, we deal with mentally disabled people all the time." Like Mike's not mentally disabled; he's physically disabled. You know what I mean? I was just like, it's funny to see him slip up like that. But the strike, like one of the funniest things of the week, and we could go through a few videos here, but Coleman's basketball skills on display were some of the most it was so sad. Like in a bunch of the videos, like, and maybe I'll just put him up.
This is my center. Just want to be clear here. This is my center. I'll not be taking any center slander. Maybe.
First of all, okay, let's look at this first one. If we look at this,
Mills.
That could really be fun. That could really be.
Like, if we look at this, they're letting him shoot. They're like letting him shoot every time. Oh, I'm getting lag. But look at that pass. First of all, look at that pass. Look at this. Look at the layup.
Dude, that body language isn't good either.
I was going to say, the body language is what has me concerned after that missed layup. Like, who are you getting mad at? That's all you sucking.
I think Kirk mentioned that I talked to him about it the other day today. I'll elaborate on my thoughts, though.
They let him shoot every time. Like, and no one plays any defense on Coleman.
But even sometimes, like, he'll back people down. He'll put him in no man's land. He'll turn around. He'll take a guy delivering
Montante's buddy.
Like, he gets, for the most part, he gets really good looks. Look, I feel for him. I can't shoot the basketball either. Oh my god! But
nobody's going to help him up.
Oh yeah,
it was worth it.
That is pretty.
That's telling. A sign.
That's
like,
true.
Pizza's here.
He's a complete asshole.
30 people are around him. Nobody's flinching.
I think this is the. Is this okay? Also, too. So this one with the shirt off. I was in like when I no shirt off. Me and my buddies were kind of in a group sex scenario back in the day, and I remember I popped my shirt off. My one buddy said, "Hey, you don't have a nice body. Why are you popping your shirt off?" I think the same could go for Coleman here. Like, if you don't have a good body, don't pop your shirt. You know what I mean?
I would never go skins ever, and also no one else's skins right now.
No, yeah, but Jeff, remember he just came from work.
Guy in the yellow lets him shoot every time.
He backed off there. He just backed off.
Look at the guy in the yellow. Just let him shoot again. This guy in the yellow lets him shoot every time. Look how much.
Yeah, I might have to. I did say he only gets good, clean looks, but they're not earned looks.
No, yeah, they just let him shoot every time. The guy, like, that's what I started laughing. Look at this, not even attempting defense.
Yeah, his group sex night, just a bunch of dudes trying to get their balls into a hole and having no success. Like, what is that about?
Yeah, but yeah, it's like, if you don't have a nice body, why are you taking your shirt off? You know, his titties flapping around. Like, I don't know, but yeah. What do you think about the basketball league? You guys, a bunch of you guys are going to be in it?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm pumped. Count me in. I can play the 3. I can play the 4. I can't shoot the 3, but I can shoot like the corner jumper if I need to. I'll take the charge.
Yeah, I can play some point. Haven't played in a while, but I'm ready to go.
Do you think?
I do love that we're just skipping by the BA gangbang though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. It was like early 20s. It was Molly was the train conductor, I guess, that night. So, but that happened, and I popped my shirt off, and my buddy was like, "Hey, buddy, you don't have a nice body.
To get that comment thrown at you."
Oh, he got in my head, and then I was in my head the whole night. But it was a fun night. It was definitely a fun night. But that's what I thought.
Playing defense on you that night either.
Yeah, exactly.
Had to eat the cookie.
Everyone was, yeah, exactly.
I'm bummed I can't go to any of the games, though. I will say that I would very much enjoy watching this. I do wish they could stream it somehow,
There's a way to do it. It's
Or
just
having
we
it-
just got to figure out what the locations are and then what their internet is.
At least have an intern film it or something so Coleman can cut it up like one of those vlogs that he does. Like you need footage of it. I don't want to hear him just talk about it.
Footage would be good, or you could tape it for the vlog, right? Do a vlog style, like, because Barstool does the vlogs, right?
Yeah, they do a blog on the New York team, right?
Yeah, they put a lot of highlights out. Like, I definitely want to see stats. I hope someone's there to keep stats. That's a big thing.
I think that's going to be one of the many hats of Tim and Ken for sure.
Oh,
he seems like a stats
Thank you,
guy.
Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Because another thing about Coleman's basketball, like, you pull up these stats and like these are very, very, very embarrassing stats. Like 2.7 points per game. Like, I wish there was shooting percentage here, because what do you think his shooting percentage is?
Oh,
the glaring stat is the rebounds. He's the biggest guy out there.
Yeah, it is.
He's got no heart. Yeah, no hustle.
No.
2 points. He had no heart. Yeah, one assist. And he's even like, I'm a pass first guy. Like, he's averaging 1 assist, 3.3 rebounds, 2.7 points. Like, he's the biggest liability. He should almost be the coach. Like, Gus, what do you think? What do you like? You're playing with this guy, and he seems like a selfish player on the court. Like, based on, he's saying that the footage was skewed against him, but he seems like a selfish player on the court. I don't know. Like, you saw that footage. He's just taking these bullshit shots. He can't even shoot.
Look, that's a few years old footage. Players develop throughout their years as athletes. You learn what your skills and weaknesses are. I hope this could be a big eye-opening moment that he's not a shooter. And maybe we can see those assist numbers and rebounds go up. That's what we're hoping
big
for.
Body, bang down in the post, kick it out, little corner three, something like that. He'd be useful. That guy in the middle on that stat sheet, Matt, he's got to hate him. He's averaging a double. Coleman can't even get like 4 boards. He's got to go to rebound for your team. He's one of the bigger players. Coleman's a calm guy.
Matt Lepine, you should be so pissed at Coleman.
Well, you think too, like, if Kirk's on this team, and Coleman's doing this behind the back, throwing the pass away like he's some superstar or whatever. Like, Kirk's gonna yell at him, and Coleman's gonna get benched, because I feel like Kirk's a competitive guy. Like, he's gonna be no nonsense on the court. You know, he's already saying Gus can't get high.
I won't be. No. I will have post victory joints. That's the rule. Nothing before the game. Going to be clear mind, clear focus.
One of the taller players, like who are the taller people on that team?
Coleman's definitely
Coleman, man.
Coleman's the tallest. And then, I mean, I'm 5'10", 5'11", so
yeah, I'm sitting at a low 5'8", real low.
Yeah, you got
to get boards then.
But I'll say this though, like the whole Kevin from Bristol stuff. He threw out his back bowling. He cannot play basketball.
Oh man, Kevin from Bristol there. He'd be doing some gay stuff, like fucking he'd be going like close with the box outs and shit. You know, Kevin from Bristol. Like, I could see why you don't want him on the team.
No, it's not that I don't want him on the team. I'm just saying he literally threw out his back the first, because he's in the league next to me. So he threw out his back the first week of bowling, and like came back at like 3 weeks left. It was hilarious.
Kevin singing "Goo" on the court and shit to fire up the boys. Like, that's good. You know.
He'd be great to have as a cheerleader.
I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I could see if Kevin from Bristol shows up. Like, I feel like Kirk just is gonna say, oh, "Okay, see you later," and he'll just leave. You know?
just eat the $1,000 right there.
Yeah, like Kirk's like, "Okay, I'm done, guys. Like, you guys fucked this up," you know. Like, I like Kevin from Bristol, but just I don't know about on the team. But are you? I Gus is being like, I can't say bad shit about Coleman, but like someone's gonna have to, like, if he starts doing shit, you really got to coach.
Oh,
him.
If he starts doing shit on the court, yeah, we have to call him out for it, of course. But like right now, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that he's grown up and changed from damaging images from high school and college. I can understand that.
Yeah. Coleman, I don't know, but what did you think? Yeah, anything else on Coleman? Do you have anything else? Any thoughts?
The douchey, like, pouty comments, Jeff kind of alluded to it. I like that it pisses people off. So, like, anything that's going to get people riled up, like, I totally get why it makes people hate him. makes me want to hate him. But if it's pissing people off, I kind of like it.
I don't know how Mutt hasn't murdered him yet. Like I like
Oh,
like to
yeah.
have this 25-year-old kid talk down to you like he does, who's known you for 5 months, 6 months.
There's real like vitriol there.
Yeah,
Like,
I would I would murder him. I would kill him.
so getting killed by Mutt while he's wearing
a
a jockey outfit.
yeah, just stabbing Coleman. Yeah,
That would be so funny. Mutt just loses and walks back.
I mean,
and
he
just
talks to him like
fucking
he's
Mutt.
dirt. Like he has
Yeah.
no respect for Mutt. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, but also like if Mutt's coming in, big swinging dick of the lollipop sales game, like Coleman's gonna respect him then. I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
It's like, oh, it hit another bonus this week.
I'm a free
another
sucker,
bonus.
Coleman.
That would be so funny. Mutt just like he buys in, he becomes the most successful lollipop salesman in the Northeast. Like he's just flexing on everyone. I feel like Mutt, if he had success though, he could be turned into like a douchebag. Like
Which
what I
would be
mean?
great.
Yeah, like cocky Mutt, like he's been knocked down his whole life. That would be great. I actually really liked it. I thought Mike and Gilroy had a good dynamic. Oh, look at this. Gus, add another $1.99 to the thing.
There you
Jeff
go.
D blows is more like it. Jeff D blows.
Hey, whatever you
I-
want
I-
to say to send
There you
Gus
go.
money.
Yeah,
There you
right.
go. Gus, what's the total at now? You got that running total
That's-
pretty fast.
That's what's that? So 6 minus 3 would be 505.97.
Memes hopes Portnoy's watching this. All this talent could go to waste. Thanks, Memes.
Thanks, memes.
Memes, great guy. We'll take calls later when John comes on. You guys can stick around or you don't have to. But what was I saying? Oh, Gilroy and Mike. I kind of like their dynamic, and I usually hate the when they talk about old WEI stuff.
This is like a classic reunion that should show from like way back in the day.
But this was funny because you got to see like this guy Gilroy's because Gilroy was like a Minifan kind of thing back in the day where he was like the original kind of clout guy, I guess, like where he's coming in and
I don't
and
know
he
necessarily though. I wouldn't
and he thinks
necessarily say
Kirk's-
he was the clout guy. It
but
was
he thinks. Sorry, go ahead.
no, he was more of just your film. Like he would come in, like he said, he was a part-time radio guy. So you would hear him on the weekends on EEI. So like after Celtics games, you listen to Gilroy some nights. So like,
yeah, but it was funny to see his. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's. I think it's a little more different dynamic than what like I would say a traditional Minifan would be.
Yeah. I probably misspoke a little bit, but it's funny to see that guy where he's like, Kirk, you're an asshole because he had this treadmill opportunity to make it big, and then Kirk never called him back in. So I thought that was funny where he was like, oh, you were an asshole, and Kirk's like, why am I an asshole? And then like when you break it down, like Kirk never was an asshole. He just was like, I don't want you in. I don't think you're the best on air. But I thought Mike and him were good. Oh, look at this, Gus. Another $1.99
To the tire fund.
There you go, Gus. There you go.
I'm sure some people don't like that, but also it was good today too because he brought up so many stories that he thought he was gonna like chop it up with Kirk about, and Kirk's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So then he'd have to explain what it was, and you'd hear like the full story, and you'd kind of get like an insight. Also, I did enjoy that it's like every 5 minutes there'd be a new scumbag in his life that he'd bring up, just some piece of shit that he hates, like the worst person ever. It's like his ex-wife, then someone else, like a sibling. It's endless.
The Mark James used to be a big Kirk defender. Whatever. Oh, look, Gus, another $9.99 for me.
Wow.
So when
Big hitter.
When you
Oh
get
my God.
tires, light up value stem caps on me, Gussie Bum. There we go.
Gus, Gus, you got to renew the registration tomorrow, buddy.
I know,
We'll
right?
keep that.
Oh, that
You know what?
DMV.
We'll keep that $9.99 up for a little bit for my good friend Mr. Mima. So that's funny. Gus brings the super chats, but I did think it was funny. Blind Mike going after this. I don't even know who these guys are. That's the whole thing. Like maybe John and Gus probably know who they're talking. Like who this Mark James guy is.
Yeah, it's just like a classic, another old radio guy that you would hear his name a lot. And once Kirk left, like he tried to be the bad boy of the station and failed miserably.
Reading old Mike tweets is gold, though.
That was gold. That was really gold. But yeah, I was saying this was the first time where it was nice to see like a outsider's perspective on those days, and someone that wasn't like he was kind of a bottom feeder, the skiller guy. But I thought it was a good episode, and him and Mike definitely have some chemistry. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
what did you think?
Early start. I think I'm a Gil boy. I mean, things could change, but hashtag Gil boy. I thought within the first 30 seconds of the show, he's trashing his ex like immediately. And if you've listened to any of his shows, I started 2 of them. That's all they talk about. They just shit on each other's exes for a half hour straight. Next episode starts, they start it up again.
I was gonna say it's what's it called with Pat and Kat? It's not fun. It's just trashing our exes.
Just 2 utter pieces of shit.
Well, people are saying that Pat Gilroy's ex had a lot in common with the third chair that comes into the studio. Manansky, he wouldn't get that, like, doesn't want to get a job, is just sitting at home. So maybe those were shots in there.
My theory is that he definitely trashes the ex to his kids, because when Kirk's like, it's like don't talk about the ex like that to your kids. He was like, oh, I definitely don't. I was like, oh, he absolutely does. He shit,
yeah, 100%. Where 100% where he's like, oh yeah, no, I don't. He's definitely being like your mom.
Oh, God,
he does it passive aggressive too.
Well, he's got two DUIs, and he's got 2 DUIs, so he's not like the best guy ever. So he definitely is doing that. But I enjoyed him. I
didn't see that coming. How it's like, what, 2?
Dude, I know too. But I hope he comes back a lot more. I mean,
he was coming so close to being the anti-mutt, and then the double DUI hit him.
Double DUI. Gus, I had another $1.99. Justin Trudell hashtag.
What a guy!
Oh wow, another bit.
Takes my job and then offers me $2. What a guy!
The funny thing is, this money's all going to Barstool Sports. I guess
it's going to Miss Peach's food.
They just, you know what? I don't care about the money. I like the satisfaction of being able to put up memes. 999. Actually, all the trolls say I don't put up their comments. If you donate, I'll put up everyone. So there,
dude, this money's kind of going to Jeff in a roundabout way.
That is true.
Yeah,
this is paying for the dozen. Oh, look at this, Jesse Moore, Gus feet pics.
You don't want the Portuguese feet pics. They're not pretty. Sorry, I hate to break it to you.
What did you guys think earlier in the week? So they were talking about the Brady roast, but Kirk alluded to the fact that he had a part to play in Bill Belichick's joke about the Apple Music documentary. Did you guys catch this? It was right at the beginning.
I missed that.
He was trying to imply that he had a little influence on that.
Had a little influence. Oh, look at this.
Oh, here we go.
Sneaks didn't even comment. He's too dumb to even comment.
Sneaks, whatever you want to say next, I'll put up. There you go. Troll King Sneaks. Another $10 to the GusBus. There we go. Fired up. I guess the Bruins are doing well. So
no, they're still 1-0.
1-0.
Florida.
Every tweet is about how quiet the Garden is.
Is it quiet?
It's not
good. You know what? I used to like
atmosphere.
I'm a big Leafs fan, and I used to really hate the Bruins. You got to respect after this series. Like, you got to respect them. They do it year. They beat the Leafs like last 10 years or whatever. Different teams, different goaltenders. Like, you can't deny that. So Kev Bart says the Bruins are frauds, though. So Kev Bart. So do you guys think do you think this was a Kirky bit, or do you think he actually had some influence with Coach Belichick? What do you think, Fuss?
I can see it because he said that Belichick has reached out, or somebody in Belichick's camp has reached out to him before. So I could definitely see it. And it was a really funny joke. I thought that was one of my favorite jokes of the night. So good job, Kirk. All those Topps hockey cards have worked out for you, writing jokes.
Wow.
Was a good joke.
John,
horrible documentary.
Horrible documentary. I never watched.
I'm not even a Patriots fan. It was terrible.
No, it was just a. I'm still trying to figure out how they were able to connect the dots that Bill Belichick was the reason Aaron Hernandez killed people.
It's crazy. I don't know who that guy is from the Boston Globe that came on, but he's just like, sometimes you think what if they just traded him to Seattle? It's like, what are you saying? He wouldn't
I
have
think-
murdered.
They would just be dead people in Seattle. That's the only difference.
I think Sneakers 999 thing was Duck is a dead man. So this is his 999 donation. Confused Duck, dead man, Alan Blind, Mike Sneakers. I didn't watch. Jeff, did you actually watch the Apple documentary? Because Coleman texted me privately saying you didn't really watch. You didn't watch it, like you don't watch the kids' movies.
I got through the whole thing. Yeah, terrible.
Oh,
Especially
I
now
thought
that
it was
I'm
funny.
I watch nonsense all day. It's all I watch.
Gus and the Dynasty. That's true.
That's right. The back of my head.
Okay. Oh, I wanted. So I thought it was funny. The Unnamed show was kind of Portnoy not getting invited to the Brady Roast. Like that is a big slap in the face. Like, and Kirk said it best. Like, you're not a Patriots fan anymore. You're the dog. You're like a dog pizza guy. But Portnoy like brought it up on all his podcasts. Like, he's obviously hurt by it. But what did you think? I thought it was funny he didn't get invited, and like Feidelberg and Grace O'Malley and Chicken Fry got invited, and he didn't even know what was going on. What did you think, Gus?
I think part of the comedy, like the comedy festival aspect, definitely was one of the reasons why Dave wasn't invited. Because like I can see Feidelberg, Grace, like kind of the shows they do, they're kind of more in touch with that comedy crowd than you would think Dave is. But also Kirk has a great point. Dave is pizza reviews, Miss Peaches, like that's
Yeah,
what
like
his big thing is.
It's crazy because he got arrested for Brady. You know, you would think like that guy would be there.
Also, they love when roast when you pan to the crowd and you see a famous person.
Yeah, like he could have. There was a bunch of weirdos in there, but Gus.
But I think it is surprising though that also how does he not know that? Like, I mean, you're a Patriots fan, like, you know, like you gotta. If you're a Patriots fan, you gotta know that's happening. No,
I don't think Portnoy is as big of a Patriots fan as he comes off, because they were asking him about it, and he's like, "Oh, they've sucked the last few years." It's like, well, I mean, you still got to hold on. You know, we got unprecedented success. You can't just bail out. And it seems like he's bailed out a little bit.
I do like the idea of him. I think they mentioned it where, as if like he'd be sitting there like watching, and all of a sudden they show fights, and he just like sits up like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
The fight thing was so random too because I didn't know he was there, and I'm watching, and I was like, oh fuck. I didn't think about it
during the roast at Panther fights.
Yeah.
It was very quick before a commercial, I think.
Yeah. No, there's no commercials.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Oh, actually, I have a take on that. I thought did you guys watch it live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 hours were way too long.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It almost made me want it broken up with, like, I've never said that before, like almost wanting a commercial.
It's one of those things too, though, where like I almost tweeted about it and like was critical of it, but then you do remember that like the Comedy Central roasts aren't filmed live and they cut so much stuff out.
Right.
So it's like I guess those are meant to be 3-hour events. You've never really seen it in at least this big of a scale live. It was long.
It felt like a slog at the end.
I kind of wanted more. I wanted to hear from Matt White and Rodney Harrison, and I did.
Well, I think they could have switched the guests up better because there was definitely some that were just not good.
Randy Moss.
Just because I'm the host of the show and we got to support the advertisers and the donations. Memes another $10 to the Gus.
It's the boat fund now.
And Trump 2024. Also, John gets a little bit of this for the boat. So there we go.
Wow, thank you.
Crazy, but I thought the roast was good. Like, and everyone, a lot of people were saying, and it was funny. Like even Mike was saying, they're like, "Oh, Kirk's gonna hate this." If Kirk actually came out and was like, "Oh, that sucked," blah blah blah, like then it's all a bit. Like him hating comedy is a bit, because I think even as like a casual observer, you have to think like it was a success. It was definitely a success.
It was. I think I went into it thinking it was going to be cheesy. So I think the expectations certainly helped because it definitely exceeded my expectations.
Do you think I thought the Kraft, like not being, like, why do you think they couldn't make fun of Kraft? Like just because he's old or because he's rich or just because like, I don't
think he could I just don't think Kraft wanted it. Like, I think that's,
you think it was a Kraft decision?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's probably part of it. Like my guess, I'd have no idea. This is completely just me speculating, but there is this idea that I guess like he might have said no if they didn't write it in there that they couldn't really go at him hard. Like, I guess I'm sure that's part of it. And I'm sure they all wanted them there. Because, I mean, if here's the thing, it's like if you're Netflix or if you're Brady and Brady's like production company or whatever, I don't know what it's called, but a bunch of people from Barstool, they work there now. I think it's Dave mentioned that. He mentioned his old assistant, Kevin Bonner.
Yeah.
He if you're them, would you rather have Kraft there and no Kraft joke, but he's there for like the tension with Belichick and all that, or Kraft not there and then maybe a couple of the jokes fly? Like I'd probably lean to like, all right, don't make the easy Kraft joke, have him there for the awkwardness around Belichick, which was very awkward. That'd be my guess for them.
Yeah, and I'd rather have
okay.
him there.
Yeah. I was listening to Edelman's podcast, and Edelman said that they weren't allowed to make any jokes about Kraft. Like they told all the comedians before, and Jeff Ross's joke about him wasn't on the teleprompter and all that. Like it was he wasn't supposed to do it.
And like wasn't also from that, like they were saying like Belichick was great before Kraft showed up, like joking around, telling all stories, and as soon as Kraft showed up, like his whole demeanor changed.
Yeah, they were in the same room together by accident, and it got real icy or something like that.
Yeah,
that I can't think of many times that's been the case. I used to watch the Comedy Central ones a lot. I was a huge Greg Giraldo fan. Rest in peace. And I think he's like my favorite roaster. And I remember they did the roast of Joan Rivers. I think Joan Rivers said her daughter was off limits, maybe, but for the most part, like the off limits stuff, it's usually people not there. So I'm not shocked that Ross like revolted because it's like, well, he's on. Not only is he not there, like Joan Rivers' daughter was on the crowd, like he was in the fucking dais. Like that's how often do you see that? It's like the guy on the dais is off limits. The guy who comes up and talks, that is a little rare.
To tie it into the unnamed show, what did you think about? They were talking about how some of the jokes were in response to other people's jokes. So were they written like pre-screened, like almost like a script?
But I think some had to be a little bit off the cuff, right? Like I think not everything could be on the teleprompter. I don't know. I just think that's too hard to do. But I feel like if they were reading rebuttals, like you would maybe some of them, but I feel like it'd be a lot more obvious. I don't know.
I think there's definitely some pre-written jokes that everyone goes in with, which allows you to kind of know what's coming. But then I especially the comedians definitely will have some that they'll just know that they're going to say like when they're writing their parts. I think that's probably the safest assumption to make.
Mima, the gentleman, my good friend who donated $20, just sent me $100 in Trump coin privately to ask Jeff if he will ask Dave Portnoy to unblock him or start unblocking people. So.
I'm not sure. I will add it to my list of things to ask Dave. I don't know what year I'll get to on that one.
I think that's honored. That's honorable.
It's on the list. Can't guarantee I'll get to it, but I will put it down there.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, I think he'll be happy with that. He'll
nice. Love that question. He'll definitely look at me with yeah.
You might have met him. He was you might have seen him at the live show. So
he was a Palestinian guy there. He's the only one.
He was in the pro-Palestine rally right before the live show started. So.
I think the first person the first person I met when I got there was Steve, because he took my bags out of my car. And I think Nipples was the second person.
That's very fitting.
It was while I was checking in, and I took the picture, and then whoever was with was like, it's Nipples. I was like, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
What a welcome.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay.
That's two superstars, you know. What a duo, Pat Fort said. Anything else on this the Brady roast? Like I forgot for Boston guys, I'm sure you guys loved it. So
it was great. I enjoyed it. I laughed a lot.
It did seem like a lot of people outside of Boston did like it too. Like there were definitely some Boston centric jokes. And like I'm a sports fan, so like I got the Guerrero stuff, but like I do think overall people did enjoy it. It's like there was enough Tom Brady's one of those few who Tom Brady is a true through and through household name.
Yeah.
Bees are losing. It seems. Thank God for Mike and the Minifans.
Yeah, 3-0. Not good.
3-0. Jesus.
Queen of the Minifans. I said. I also. Oh, what was I gonna say? I forgot. Now I did forget. The Star Wars stream like how big of a waste of time on a scale of 1 to 10 was that Star Wars stream on the Saturday? You know, talk about bits. You know, like I would put it at probably at a 9. What do you? We go around the room. What do you think, Fuss?
Probably somewhere up there. I was at my parents' house all weekend, so I didn't get to see much of it. That stuff's right up my wheelhouse. But when I tuned in, it was just them sitting there not doing anything. So I would just close it out pretty quickly. But they should have done some games or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, movie watch alongs are tough. Like, I know Jeff used to do it. Like during COVID, I think you would do the movie watch along when you had a panel, and I remember that was the only time I tuned in. It was with I think it was the Rocky one when Kirk was on. And the funniest part was going in the chat, and then no one was paying attention to the movie. Then it was we were putting in the chat about Steve Robinson, and then Eddie like got like intrigued by Steve Robinson. But the movie watch along. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. That just all popped back to my.
You remember that now, right? You remember that? Yeah. But the movie watch songs, like they're hard. Like it's hard to like make those captivating. I don't know. Like
you either have to make it a discussion and have people on who like that was fun. We had fun with that. Like there is, you could also
it was all chat centric, I guess that one.
Right. Like you could get a crew where you watch a bad movie, make fun of the movie, but then that's also like you better be fucking funny, or man, that's 2 hours of just things not landing. Or you can have a discussion about it and things kind of naturally working. But yeah, those can bomb. Those can be like real duds, especially if you don't pick the right movie either. Also, like that's 9 straight Star Wars movies. That's pretty tough.
Yeah, like that was crazy. What scale did you give a rating out of 10? What do you think? How big of how much of a waste of time?
Waste of time.
Justin's a Star Wars fan, so I guess for him it's not a waste of time. But I guess the pairing Coleman, that's like a 9 out of 10 waste of time. 10 out of 10 waste of time for Coleman.
Yeah, that's for sure. John, what do you think?
Yeah, 9 or 10. It didn't grab me. I saw clips and I could just tell they were sitting there. So I was like, I try to consume everything, and that is something I no more than 30 seconds I didn't watch.
Gus probably was like, "Oh, it's good." It was
it was one of those moments. I can't judge too much because I did cut lawns until 5 a.m. until Coleman said not to continue it. So
that's something like Gus. If he was a producer, like Kirk would be like, "What were you doing?" Well, I had the 9-hour Star Wars stream. I was.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. My favorite joke I think was Edelman said. He's a Jew that everyone looks up to, and Jeffrey Ross is the kind of Jew that makes you want to join Hamas. I think I thought that was a good one.
I thought Edelman telling Brady that Guerrero turned him into a weirdo. I was like, oh, all right, like that's something Kirk would have said.
Yeah, the only one that really bombed, I think, was Randy Moss. I think even Kim Kardashian, like the Caitlyn Jenner joke, like that was a laugh, you know. So like Randy Moss, I don't think had one laugh in there.
No, that was tough. I almost changed. I had to change it for a little bit. I was cringing so hard.
We have John. I think John, if we want to take calls, we could take calls. You guys could stick around, or if you guys are busy, I have a few more things as well, but I don't know if John is here. Oh, he is here, but he's not. He's here, but he's not. But John, come on whenever you want. The DEC tweet to make a Tim Ridgeld's comedy on the Barstool main page was one of the craziest tweets. Like I think DEC. I should pull up my DMs with DEC because he like about 6 months ago he sent me something similar. Where he was like, he wanted to do something where he does an impression of Tim Ridgeld's. Like DC is like Steve from Gloucester is like turning into DC, you know? I don't know, where it's like you're becoming irrelevant and then you're going to try to pop back up and think you have this home run. And it's like, what are you doing? So what do you got? Jeff, you probably don't even know who DC is, right?
No, I mean, I know just from like this world, but that was one of those ones where just... Right. I mean, I know Tim. Tim was the last person I met when I was in Portland. I met him when I was leaving. We got kicked out of that bar
upstairs
at like 11:30 p.m. whatever time was.
Oh, that was crazy. You should have came to the after party in mine and Montante's room.
I had a flight the next morning at like 6 a.m. out of Logan, so I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Okay, so I have the DEC thing. So he said to me, I said, do you want to, this was in September. I said, do you want to come on Mike of the Minifans? Kirk has a new producer, or this was during the producer search. And he sent me a voice note. I don't know what I'll play it, but he sent me this. I have a whole backstory where Rigel only fucks women over 400 pounds because they know where the good food is. And this is like the voice note he sent me.
Hey, if you fucking want me to come on and pretend to be fucking Ridge Gold, I'll fucking come on and do that shit. I can tell you all my main diet of Keystone Light and Ruffles. Sometimes I get really fucking excited and I get an extra little bit of money somewhere and I get some good cheese and not that cheap shit. We get that fucking Velveeta. Then I can talk about the dog that I have underneath my my fucking porch. It's emaciated like me. Jesus Christ, fucking
This is
Chris
so
Clemmer
painful,
says,
dude.
you should
What
mix
the
in
fuck
some
is
food
this?
every fucking once in a while.
Dude, if
So
I'm
that's what he
Tim,
sent me. That's when
I'm-
he sent me where he went. So I said, he goes, I have no idea about Kirk's new producer. I said, okay, never mind. Hope all is well. Then he sent me that voice note and said, I have a whole backstory where Ridgels only fucks women over 400 pounds because they know where good food is.
But we're talking September all the way up to now. This tweet. That's why I'm saying if I'm Tim, I'm starting to get scared of DEC.
Yeah.
Like, why are you obsessed with me? Why are you trying to put me into this show?
Jeff is so confused. Right
Yeah,
now.
this is one of those ones where like I just go, what? I only know because I know the names, and I know Tim.
Yeah.
Like I know Tim a little more than DC. I just know the name like DC.
Yeah, DC, like they started like the first kind of like fan podcast, so they kind of paved the way for this kind of stuff, I guess you could say. So they did the Minifan show, and that was the first kind of fan podcast. And then DC would do a week in review every week.
Wasn't DEC the president, right? He was the president of the Minifans at one point.
He was the president of the Minifans. Then he did this week in review where that's where he would do the Steve car crash. So every week he'd be like, this is the Steve car crash segment. It was pretty good. And then I don't know what happened. Then he was getting mad at Kirk for stealing their advertisers.
Oh yeah, the advertising steal. That's where everything turned.
Yeah.
And then we found his Yelp reviews.
Is that when they did the episode, the Lance Minahan, Dr. Lance Minahan, the OBGYN episode?
Yeah.
Oh, he bitched about that too.
Yes, yeah, but Kirk, I guess if the rates were too low, they would give it to DEC's podcast so they can make a little bit of coin, and then one of the ads went back to Kirk and DEC got mad or something. He's like, "Why are you stealing my ads?" And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that's one of those ones where when I hear it, it just kind of goes over. Which again was recently like the Shaddocks were one of those things where it's like people bring the Shaddocks, and I'm like, I know like who the Shaddocks are just because of the show, but people reference up, and I'm like, no idea, no clue.
Well, I feel like the Shaddocks are more newer than they weren't really back in the. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong too. But I think they weren't really talked about like a few years ago, right? I don't know. Can I be wrong there? Like, were the Shaddocks
I
ever?
don't think so either. No, they were for a minute there, and then like when Shattuck had that lead in his that lead table or something, and then I think Kirk got bored with them, and then now they're back.
What else? Oh, I do have. John, you could come on. I think I said it. I don't know if you were away when I said it. How are you, Mr. The CEO?
What's up,
CEO?
How are we?
Glad to see you're awake.
It's the nighttime, McFussDaddy. This is when I'm always awake.
How about Miss Marks?
Dummy. What's that?
Nocturnal John.
Yeah, I literally live in the darkness.
But how about
sleep at the wheel so long?
how about Miss Marks? Hey, how are you? I guess if you know what I mean, Miss Marks. Does she deserve?
I didn't see. I heard Kirk talking about it today. That was funny though.
I think she's a beautiful lady. I can see where Mick gets her good look. His good looks.
We are taking. So.
Can you put the call thing on the thing? If you guys want to let Jeff, I don't know if you have stuff to do. You can leave. If you want to stay on for some
I can
calls.
stay around for a little bit longer.
I will say,
Gus.
I think the big takeaway is definitely finding out that Jeff pretends he's a little boy when he watches the kids movies.
Yeah, you worded that weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
Someone did
I'm
write
going
that
to
in
watch
the
a
chat.
kids movie. I'm not going to rate it like I'm rating Oppenheimer.
John,
Yeah.
can you put the banner? With the
Yeah, I
call
gotcha.
on? It's Patrick Crowley wrote that. Oh, Jeff pretends to be 12 years old when he watches these movies.
I'll tell you something kind of funny.
Um,
I had said this in a couple chats, but after the show I was in, I think it was Wednesday, I got out of the studio and went in my car, and I left the studio first. So I'm just sitting in my car. I'm like looking at my phone for a second. I look up, and it's like kind of raining a little bit. And there's Mutt wearing a full jockey outfit walking down Main Street in Watertown. Like I didn't even think to take my phone out and take a video or a picture, but it was just the most perfect image of all time. He's literally walking down Main Street.
That battle between him and Coleman are just tearing down the characters of both men.
McFussDaddy's frozen. He just left.
It's me. Get me off the screen, please. You don't want that.
Jeff, memes. Our financier here wants to know: will you be getting a cut of the shoulds at a rap movie?
That I don't know. Let's ask Rachel.
It's a foundation.
I don't know.
You got the foundation.
Oh, look, Patriots stink against a Jeff W. Lowe. There we go.
Jeff, do you hate Menners as much as Mutt hates Menners? Or are you a Menners ally?
I'm not. I'm on record as not a Menners hater.
Oh, good. We're Menners love. We're Menners guys here.
Yeah, I have nothing. I have nothing against Menners. Menners cracks me up.
He's my like role model. That little bastard.
I love when I love the every now and then wars when things go off with him and Kirk and
yeah.
I have no hate for Menners.
In the middle of the show, he texted me NBA in a group text, and he's like, "No promotion for the show with Jeff. You guys are falling asleep at the wheel. Big disaster." It's just I love him.
Did he say that?
He guides me forward. I love Menners. Yeah, he texted both of us.
Oh, look at that!
And then I just screenshotted that as a promo, tagged all you guys in it.
The thing is, like, and this is what I always said to Menners. It's not about like asking for promotion and doing this. We do the show. We have fun. If it gets played on the main show, that's great. If it causes a buzz on Twitter, it's great. Like, who cares? Like, it's just it's all for fun.
I had sentimental Menners in my text the other day after the GVE episode because we were so kind to him, and he was like, we got to have this peace meeting and all this shit. And then it was like 12 hours later, he was like, I can't wait to eat your blood. It's like, I'm gonna fucking suck your soul out.
I have been in communication with Menners about something. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, wow. Call in if you want to call in. I don't know if the phones are working. 844-906-3.
He like when I became a fan of the show, he was, and when like Kirk and I started becoming better friends, he was very like always. There was something always with Menners. That's another thing too. Is like there was just always something with Menners, and so like that's for me like the lifeblood of when I first started listening is like it's Menners. Like
Menners was mentioned on the first episode of Kirk Minahan show ever. So he's been talked about since day one of KMS.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, they talk about a fan from Australia in that show. Is Menners because he was reaching out to Steve already.
Menners was the one that helped Steve get them to take calls on the show.
Yeah, get the roadcaster.
About the roadcaster.
Now every Minifan has a roadcaster except Gus.
Except me, yeah.
Yeah, but at that time they were like some random Australian guy helped me out with the calls. It's like
now there's like 8 random Australian guys. We've grown.
Shout out Jackson.
Address the fact that BA was the biggest Jeff D Lowe hater in the fucking world, and he hasn't even brought it up yet. Like I
used to be a Jeff. I hated him.
That's fair. That's super reasonable.
Yeah,
I used to be a Jeff D Lowe hater.
Jeff, because he hated you just because of your haircuts. That's it.
No,
like, that guy
remember back in the day, I used to troll you about your haircut. I would say, "Oh, you got another haircut," and then you got mad. We went back and forth about, but then I started understanding like Jeff. I like Jeff because he replies to like he's a big reply guy. He like actually goes.
Kevin Durant.
So
yeah, and then when the bracket happened and he bought like it's like how can you be like, oh, this guy is.
Yeah. I've just said it, like it eventually clicked. Like the KMS world clicked for me eventually, and you're like, okay, like you can either it's there's only 2 things to do. You either ignore it or you just embrace it. Because if you try to middle it and like be angry about it, that's just pointless.
Yeah.
But
start talking about this.
I'll always reply. That's I hate when people say it's like, oh, look at you. back in the day, like when like not everyone have a check mark, they'd be like, "Oh, you got a check mark replying." It's like I don't have Twitter for my health. Like I have to interact with people. Like when I first got Twitter, I had like, I mean, I didn't get Twitter when I like had a platform. Like I had it before that. Like I used to tweet at people like that. So I was like, I don't know. As long as I have it, I'm
know Twitter back in the day was you were actually able to directly connect yourself to like a celebrity out of the blue.
Yeah.
Like, and they can actually respond. That was the coolest part of Twitter in the beginning, that like it actually worked that way. And like it went back and forth and shit. But then the world just evolved the way it did. But yeah. I also hate the people who are like, oh, you responded to it. What are you bothered? It's like, no, yeah, I want to fuck around with it. Yeah, I'm bothered.
I get that. That's a very common thing for me. Somebody will say something like really like someone will like really throw like a pretty. Actually, the other day when I released that review about Unfrosted, people were like really mad at me that I was like going at Stephen Shea. I got a couple things about like how much of like fuck you all this, and I replied, and they go, oh, well, you're rad. I go, I don't know. You sent a mean thing, and I called you a piece of shit.
Yeah,
pretty level.
Yeah, you should have hit back. And
what do you mean to say? Like, thanks.
Yeah.
Jeff, they did it on Bussin', but they did the list of 3 people you'd be like scared to get in kind of a battle with. Do you have 3 that come to mind, or do you have 1 or 2?
Get in a battle with, that is tough.
I think for me, Portnoy would be, but I guess it's good and bad.
David's side, that's different. Dave likes that
for sure.
Squish.
Like, but it like Dave, it's like, yeah, I guess like Clemmer's done it in kind of like the kind of one.
Yeah. I mean, Dave.
I guess you got it a bit with the Duncan, like the what's it called?
That was
not
sure. I've been yelled at plenty by Dave, but I mean like true like enemy, like his enemies fail. Yeah. Like I think Dave likes me, but like he could yell at me in a week, but that's not the same. But like to be an enemy of him, that's like his enemies. He's every fucking month he's popping that bottle on someone who just got fired or got run out of town, or he just did it like 2 days ago. But in terms of
Jerry proves that he would be relentless.
Jerry
seems tough.
Old Rico Riders.
Yeah, Rico, that would be scary.
I wouldn't want Kevin hating me just because I would have to get in some type of rap battle then, and it's all that bullshit. Like, you just don't want that.
I think the olds like the Minifans now I think are more joke first, but the old school Minifans where they were like sending the emails and shit, like trying to take down Apple, like that. Those ones were tough. Those ones almost scared some of us away, you know. So.
He mentioned Roan because he does the battle rap. Roan's one of those guys where like if Roan doesn't like you, you're probably like a humongous piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying about like him and Kevin were obviously joking going back and forth, but like who if Kevin if Roan really hated you, like you probably suck because he likes kind of everybody.
I think I'm still funny. I think Roan too. It's like one of those guys that he can like really eviscerate you in a battle wits too. Like, and he could cut deep with making it funny, and like that's a dangerous combination, you know.
Well, and he's someone who knows how to take it because when he used to do that, he just get it from the other side, right? Like someone else would do it to him, like he obviously doesn't care because you probably can't live in a battle rap world if you care about that.
Yeah.
I used Roan to get like my girlfriend Carm into bars. I was like, you should listen to this battle rapper. He's awesome. And then we got into Roan's battle raps, and she was like, "What?" And now she likes Barstool shit.
Well, it's funny. Back in the day, Steve Robinson was because that's when like Kirk didn't really know anything about Barstool, and they're like, "Who's this Roan guy?" And Steve's like, "Oh, another untalented blogger."
That was one of the most talented people there.
I remember I was like, I think I even DM'd Roan back then. It was like, "Hey, because we're doing parody songs." So I was like, "Hey." Kirk's producer said you're untalented, you could roast him, but he replied back, "Who's Kirk's producer, Steve?" And then nothing happened. But
it is funny because like obviously people say Kirk and all that, and we always joke whenever him and I are in the same event, is that people will oftentimes ask me to ask him something, and it's like I'm like almost like the handler in that sense because they're just like, I'm like I don't know, you can ask him, he's going to give you an incredibly human reply. Like he's going to just he's going to say yes.
Yeah. I feel like
more like he's been at more over like as like the last 2 or 3 years go on, like he's at more and more stuff. So I think it's way less. Like before, people would like they really would like walk away like that, but now everyone for the most part like kind of talks to him. Like 3 years ago, like someone like a Nikki Smokes at Barstool. He would have been on the other side of the room as Kirk, but like he comes up and talks to him, and so people aren't as like timid as they were. You still get it here and there though, especially like production and stuff.
Yeah, I probably behind the scenes people are like, what the like, because
the poor scorekeeper for the first game of Surviving Barstool. Man, that poor guy who had to blow the whistle. That was just the ref. It just Rico. I mean, we were there for an hour, and Rico was in his face. I was like, this is gonna be a long week, dude.
It sucks because he's gonna pop off. The cameras are on. He has to pop, but that's what he's there for. So it's like, which one of you motherfuckers is getting it? Because it could be a guy holding a fucking light bulb. Like it could be
right.
Exactly. Nobody's saying
but him grabbing the papers out of that guy's back pocket was a great move. Even my sister, my sister's like a casual Barstool fan, but she loved the Surviving, and I was like, oh, you gotta check out this Kirk guy. My sister's like, when he grabbed the papers, I was laughing so hard. Like even like I think most people thought that could have been a funny move,
Oh, they're mine now.
What'd you say, Gus?
That's what Kirk said. He's like, oh, they're mine now. I found them.
Oh yeah.
So Mick is going to be back next week, huh?
Yeah,
that's right.
That's crazy. I'm happy. His long dead. I'm happy he got his mind right. But I said in our group chat with Coleman that we have to like get episodes up. Like I miss the Beyond Average podcast. I never listened to it until it was on this, and I was like addicted to him and Christian by the end of it. And it was like 3 weeks. Like I love that show.
Mama K wants a clip. Call in, or else we'll end this.
Yeah,
in a few minutes.
cowards. No one calling in is tough.
Around 6, or maybe the calls are broken. Someone call in and tell us if the calls are working.
No, they're not broken. I trust it.
Broken.
I don't know. Sometimes we get when we were doing it on the other channel, the calls started clicking, and we would get like 6, 7 in an episode, and then someone said like the F word, and Manners was like, no more calls, this is ridiculous. And I was like, oh, we have a caller.
Yeah, 774.
Welcome to Manners Live, hosted by BA.
Phone lines aren't broken.
Nope, lines aren't broken. Thank
great.
Okay. All right, thanks, man.
At least he didn't hang up.
That was, by the way, that was that what's his face called him the other day?
JJ?
JJ, yeah.
Oh, God, I love
that. That actually, like, I guess I hadn't realized how long it had been since callers. In the second I heard his voice, I was like, oh shit, it really has been a long time.
Like JJ is like a legit character of the show when calls are going on, but if calls disappear, it's like
I was like, oh my! I was like, oh shit! I got really excited.
Yeah, it's wild. It's because all those guys just disappear.
It seems like Kirk really hates the calls, but I think it's two extremes. When you do calls every day, then you're like, fuck, these calls suck. When you do them once a month, you're like, oh shit, they're not too bad. I think you need to bring them back every once in a while, because you get those JJs, you get Wands, the Trumps, like sometimes the callers cause the show to go like a better
in a certain direction
segment than the producers bring up.
I would take once a week.
He has like anxiety of just being like, calls are back. Like it's like he has like placement anxiety. He doesn't want to say they're back. He doesn't want to put them on a certain day or a certain. I kind of like that, but it's like it's tough for callers, I guess. But
I think the producers should like if they have nothing to talk about, they should be like, oh, why don't let's take some calls, and then because then if they say, hey, let's take some calls, and then you kind of throw it on Kirk, and Kirk says no, and then it's like, and then he'll end up probably saying yes just to make fun of them once they're bad, So I think the producers should what Jeff was saying, like Coleman should lean into being an asshole, like so then like he has to do that a little bit to Kirk a little bit more, like not fully, but he should be like, oh, let's do this or let's do that. I don't know. That's what because Steve would do that.
You got to call it 508.
508. Welcome to Manners Live.
Funniest thing would be is if he. Oh, sorry. I was saying. I'll save that point.
508. You're up. Yeah. Are you fucking with us, 508?
Probably.
He did. Yeah.
I would say it would be very funny if Coleman like really got comfortable, leaned in too hard, and then one day went way too aggressive back at Kirk. Like, uh-oh. Like that is definitely
so
like
funny,
that's a
though.
possibility.
But see, as a fan, like I would love to see that. Like that would be like as a fan, like that's like that. People would be laughing. They'd be really opinionated, either way,
It's like Steve.
You'd have the like straight up
came in one day
pimps.
and he was like, "I'm gonna say I need a break today," and that was the best episode like that ever happened. Like that kind of shit happens, and it just makes gold.
That's one of those where I listen to before I like listen regularly, since that's when I definitely in the wind.
Are you?
Because you see it with someone like Mick. Like Mick goes back at Kirk, like one of the funniest openings was when he didn't put the YouTube stream on, and then it starts off like, "You never earned anything, you fucking piece of shit," or something. And it's like, but that's where, but you see Mick still comes in, so it's like I think the producers they should be like, I feel like sometimes they get, especially Justin, they're like too timid. They're like, oh, if Kirk gets too mad, he's gonna. But I think at this point, look at Mick, for example. Like Mick has won at Kirk, and he like Kirk's like, I'm a Mick guy. I can't help it.
But back in the day, Mick was looked at like Will was, where like this guy just showed up because Kirk said you could do a spot before my show, and it's a bar stool thing. And then he disappeared, and then he started coming back a little, and then he disappeared, and now he's just only disappearing for 2 weeks. We haven't. Do you think
Mick leaving was kind of a bit?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't
No.
think it was.
No, I'm sure something was wrong.
Yeah. He lost a nice looking girlfriend. I'd be a little upset like that.
His brother.
Look
got
at
a lot of
this.
shine,
Breaking news.
Al had a great day.
BA Steve from Gloucester.
Breaking news.
What is
Steve from Gloucester actually replied to the tweet, the Mike and the Minifans tweet. Kane said, "Great lineup." Steve from Gloucester said 3 out of the 4 gems. I'll let you decide who is it. Is this McFuss? Is this...
Wow.
See, I'm still a Steve guy.
I mean, I said I'm fully out.
Yeah, I like that. He needs some of
like-
this, like people out on him though. He needs to learn like the world isn't all fucking rainbows and sunshine. 781.
781, welcome to Menors Live, hosted by BA.
Hey, BA, Brady Roast here.
Hey, buddy.
What's up?
Hey, I
Hey,
want to
Brady.
ask Gus,
Yeah.
are you hurt? Are you straining too hard to make sure that everyone can see your T-shirt? We see it, we love it. But you don't have to,
Just chilling,
so hard.
enjoying it. It's a good shirt.
And he got him.
If I just lean back a little bit more.
Yeah. That's 15 extra cents.
Freddie Lynn, absolute legend in the chat. He also took a piss after the Portland show in my Airbnb. So shout out.
Oh,
Freddie.
there you go. You're like
Yeah.
brothers, like Fuss and sneakers, because there's knee
Freddie Lynn,
touch.
good guy.
Freddie, you got anything else, buddy?
Freddie Lynn, great guy.
Nothing can top what I already said.
Yeah, you nailed
Nope.
it. Thanks, buddy.
It's a good call or quit while you're at it.
That actually, Freddie brings up a great point. Gilroy and Portnoy have one thing in common. Kirk has went after their dead dog.
It's funny that me and Warden made the shirt with Kirk's or with Dave's dead dog on it. Like we were the ones that made that shirt.
It's a great design, guys.
That's
Great
like
design.
today's show is becoming funnier and funnier to me. Just thinking about how many times he bring up a story, assuming Kirk like remembered the story. He's like,
That's what I was gonna say. He was,
no idea.
Kirk was like, I
does,
didn't listen
though.
to the episode. Someone played the audio for me.
Yeah.
It also was it was a little bit like Steve from Gloucester-esque when Kirk, he's like, yeah, I went to lunch with Kirk back in the day. And it's like, it goes like, oh yeah, you played my clip at the beginning of Kirk and Callan. He's like, all right.
Gilroy did have one of those just like uniquely radio type voices that you kind of just hear everywhere else though, but it's unique enough. Like that's the exact that voice. I could have.
What did you think of him today, John?
I liked him on the show. Like I liked that right off the bat. He was like, "You were mean to me, Kirk." I was like, "Yes, I love that. I love guys that give it like Mick does, give it back to Kirk. I love that shit. Just see how he acts during it." because he could treat you like yellow shirt guy and just KO you into a corner, and no one, what is everyone in the room gonna do? Fucking take your side, like,
Fez said Jeff Lowe looks like he got catfish on being on the show and is trying to think of a reason, I think, to leave.
This looks like Mike trying to get out of the hotel.
When was the yellow shirt guy episode? What is the date of that? I keep meaning to go back and read
that. Would be the summer of 23. It was in the best of.
Yeah, because I actually remember. I remember I was in the car when it happened, and so I didn't really see it. I just heard it, and I do want to go back and best of. All right, so if I start the best of tonight.
No, but you can't. Gus, this is how Gus is a dummy. You have to watch it. You can't fucking. You have to watch the YouTube video because the best part is
it's in the best of the YouTube. It's in there. I put the whole. Okay. And I did the whole zooming in that Cullinane did.
It's like telling somebody
which hour is it in?
There's treasure out in the world. You just gotta find it.
Just peruse through the 9 508. Welcome to Menors Live, hosted by BA 508.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh.
Hey, what the fuck was up with that DEC voice thing?
That was weird.
That was the creepiest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I know. Like I read. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I have the willies from that. Like, what the fuck, dude? That guy, he literally
feedback, huh?
He fucking started. Yeah, he started the network or whatever with the Minifan show, and now he is just falling on dark times. Dude, that was fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like
very sad.
Yeah, I didn't. I guess because you were explaining a little more to me because who he is, but was that a is he doing a character there? What is that?
Him do impressions? He sounds like that's what I like. There's nothing worse than a guy who thinks he's nailing an impression. Ugh.
So Jeff, he was doing it
trying to do
like
it
him.
Really good year in review.
Here, I'm gonna put my call. I'm gonna put my DM. I'm gonna put my DM up right now. I said, hey, would you want to come on the mic in the minute or come on Saturday and give some thoughts on Kirk's new producer? He's like, I have no idea who new producer. So I said, hope all's well. Then he sent me that voice note. Right? Then he sent me. I have a whole backstory. Originals only fucks women over 400 pounds because they know where the good food is. And I said, I'll keep you posted, trying to get the fans' opinions on who they think will win the producer race.
What a canned reply that was. Oh my god.
I remember listening to them and being like, "What the fuck?" I don't even know if I brought it up after. But
Caller, you got anything else?
The Bruins scored their first shot of the period.
Hey,
damn it!
Oh yeah, great song, John. All right, yeah.
No. You're good. You're good. Go ahead. You got anything else? Oh, well, he left. I don't know why he left. What song?
I don't know.
I think you played.
You did just people blaming shit on me. What the fuck is that? Didn't do anything.
I think you did. You did something, dude.
Probably.
A better week for John. Actually,
by the way.
What's that?
That's a weird comment drop that he's playing. He's playing it at a good time, but I don't like that being the drop that I'm in the most now. That's a bummer to me. I gotta get a better drop for Coleman.
What's the one again? What do you say?
Coleman's drops are spiteful. There's spite put behind
I know it was when I was talking about Mick, and I said that's a weird comment. I wish I need something better. I don't know. It's just not my. I don't like that being my main one.
And the shitty thing is you can't ask for a drop. You can't be you use that. That makes it even worse.
My next one's gonna be way worse now too.
Yeah, you got to give Coleman credit. That's where Coleman, the drops, and I like how he changes them up and stuff. So
yeah, he is very he has his own skill at drops.
Actually, honestly, it makes it funny. He had a drop the other day that didn't work, and because they're all for the most part really good. The occasional bad one is just funny. You just move on.
Yeah.
Good chuckle.
Well, he's good at he'll put the car crash it hit a car when they're talking about DUIs and shit. That's smart. That's thinking smart. We're not talking about Menners, but you're thinking of the Menners clip that is actually smart. So
that's gotta be the biggest button on his board is the hit a car thing. Is that's the one
it hits every time.
Always on.
I sent it to ESPN. I sent it to ESPN thinking this has to make it right. What else are they getting from cricket? But
we have Kane is able to say class act Jeff D Lowe staying this long. What a guy. But also Patrick Crowley said Jeff is lying about Steve from Gloucester and said that was disgusting.
Oh, wow.
So Patrick Crowley's an anti. He's an anti.
I would not say it's a lie.
Guy. I've noticed.
That's fair. That's okay. Hey, there needs to be a couple haters here.
Well,
Yeah,
David
that's all.
Maryland said you weren't lying, so there we go. So
It wasn't
people are
it's definitely not a lie because I don't know one way or the other. Though again, I'm telling you, I now am leaning very like beyond heavily into the camp that he actually did it. But like to me, it felt like he did. And then I was like, I was like, hey, we're having fun here. I thought we were going back and forth. And then he the more he defended it, the more I'm like, I don't know. The fact that you're this upset about it makes me think you actually now, like, I really do think you did it.
When you
It felt
get
really
caught in
dirty
lie,
getting
you
a
dig your heels
DM
in.
that was a private DM between you and Steve, Jeff. You know, he sent that to me. I didn't feel
he
right.
sent that
reading
to
it.
he sent that to me
Yes,
too.
he just copy and he's a big copy and paste to everybody. And
I
then
don't,
you
and
have
like
a
that's
conversation.
I've said that on this
It's-
show too, on Kirk's show, and I know Kirk said it too. He did that when like Ohio's Tater ever sent like posted his DM. I don't like that. I'm not.
Yeah.
You do that like I'm like whatever. That's your choice. I'm
I do
probably
that
not.
shit so fast.
He said,
Man, just text me. That was the promo. Like I
Steve-
clip DMs so hard. I do
Steve
it all.
but Steve from Gloucester does like the Steve stack with the DMs. Like he does the burst out to like the
Yeah,
20
yeah.
people. You know,
Yeah.
When he ran the account, it
Steve-
was funny.
Steve Stack.
Steve stack.
Steve Stack.
Steve stack. You know.
Oh, sure. We got 5 minutes. We'll go to 9:30 and then we'll get out of here. 5
all
more
right,
minutes.
writes call in or write something in the chat. I'll read it. But it's been a great episode. I think.
We got
Montante again, another week, another last minute cancellation. He did text me saying I didn't he didn't hide because of the account. It was because he's watching the Knicks. So he did he wanted to
I do have some breaking news regarding Montante. I have made it into his phone tree. I got a phone call from one Michael Montante today.
I had to make the Trump 2024 stickers that they're going to be selling.
The good thing about Montante is when he has to bail, he tries to find he's like a booker.
Oh yeah, no,
a
he
talent
dropped
booker.
it in a second.
He's a good guy. Yeah, he didn't fully like he bailed, but he wanted to make sure like the spot was filled. But people always what's his face? Tom Brenneman, the announcer or whatever. No, who's the Castellanos, the guy that always hits a home run whenever something bad happens. That is Montante with calling me. And actually Gus a little bit in the last week. Gus, every time you call me, Gus, I was somewhere where I could not.
It was 11 o'clock at night.
Honestly, Jeff, it worked better. I like the idea of you just keeping ignoring it the whole time. I think that would have played out even better too.
Like, Montante always calls me. Like, Montante called me once, and I'm like going through security. Like, I'm putting my phone on the belt. I'm like, Montante, I can't. Just can't do it.
Montante's a good, but he's like a quick to the point phone call. It's not like a long one, you know.
But
The
shitty thing is he'll then you don't answer that call. He'll go in the studio and be like, "Yeah, Jeff, that cocksucker. He doesn't."
I permanent Montante guy. I'll never not be a Montante.
Oh, guy. Montante's the best. Heart of gold. David from Maryland. We have a few comments. He said he overheard the conversation with Steve and Fuss, and some things were said that makes him believe Fuss. That's David from Maryland.
Yeah.
Roscoe has a Stephen Gloucester autograph if anyone wants to make an offer. So maybe.
Man, the stock on that thing has plummeted, huh?
You know, Boner James, my Canadian friend, said, "Who's bigger cryberry be, Jeff D Lowe or Montante?" So,
where Jeff has made that
Jeff
breach over to the other side, I don't think like Montante sees negative stuff about him. He unfollows you, and then if he sees one more, he blocks you, and anything after that, he's going to talk negatively about you publicly. So it's like he has a system. So at least Jeff answers.
Yeah, I would say. I don't know if Jeff cried Jeff cried in a respectable moment to cry. I think Montante is more of he cries more at smaller things, you know, like the taxes.
The other day, shit happens, dude. Jeff cried in a big moment. That was a great moment to cry.
All that was
a huge
definitely
moment
for sure, 100%.
I would have been balling.
John, you got boner salad DMs.
Oh yeah,
but yeah,
Jeez.
but crazy. So. No more calls. It seems like
Nothing.
It seems like actually. Thank you to all the super chatters. Gus is probably like $555 or something like that.
Nice.
So let's keep it. Let's keep it going. Like we got this is momentum for Gus. The GusBus, you know,
the GusBus.net.
GusBus.net. There we go.
We couldn't get that .com, Gus.
No, I wanted .net. I like .net better.
Fuck. All right.
There was definitely a Groupon for .net or something like that.
I know you guys brought this up earlier, But when Mutt said, like, in his dreams, he's a JV coach,
JV.
craziest thing ever. It's just like reach for the not the stars, but just outside of the orb, like orbit. It's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. But actually, Kev Bart said it best. Great show, boys. Thank you for coming on. We're gonna end it off. We're gonna end the show off with the Bobby Costa parody song that didn't get played. We're gonna play the full thing for everyone. So there we go. Yeah. Coleman. Oh wow. Coleman hates special needs individuals.
Wow.
But thank you everyone. And,
he can't end the show. He doesn't know how to end the show.
No, I'm saying thank you everyone. Have a great day. That's just where I need Menners. Menners used to end the show for me.
Yeah, we'll see y'all later. Bye.
All right, see you, boys.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.